That was quick. Okay, so we have now completed that first milestone. Not loving the noise that made. That doesn't sound like a promotion type noise. And then we are going to vomit, apparently. Oh no, why could Dove be vomiting? Hello from the void, it's Rose. Welcome back to my channel and my Not So Berry challenge. I am so excited about this video because while it's not technically a new generation, it is absolutely a new start. We are finally moving out of the yellow generation house. Our grey gen Dove is going to be starting out in a new place with new goals and maybe a couple surprises on the way. So let's get straight to playing. If you've never watched any of my videos before, this is a great starting point. You can go back and watch the whole thing. The earliest ones are dodge, but there's some fun stuff. But otherwise, let's go play Sims. Look at this beautiful site, a one sim household, and we are moving in to the waterfront region of Windenberg. Now there's a couple reasons for this. I was trying to think of what Dove would do after school. I don't know if she necessarily would be someone that would do like college sports, so I was like, maybe she gets a job where she coaches swimming but also swims for the team that she coaches for. I don't know how much that's a thing worldwide, but there is definitely like a semi-professional level in the UK, so in my head that's what she's doing. And this whole area of Windenberg gives me like Olympic Village kind of vibes, so I built these weird looking wave-shaped condo thingy. And basically in my head what it is she's taken this job to like coach a swim team and swim for them, and this is the accommodation that like comes with the job. I actually had such a good time building this because it's so different from the sort of antiquity jumbly vibe of Mac and Edie. I even gave it this sort of slightly pretentious, confusing art vibes entryway, which I feel like a lot of these complexes tend to have. So this is Dove's new place. It is very minimal at this point. It's basically just what would be considered like, I guess, a part furnished apartment here. So we've got the basic kitchen amenities, we've got a basic bathroom, and we have got a bed. And that is pretty much all we've got, and it's taken most of our money, so we're down to like 2k because, you know, for me, I love the rags and riches, I love the grind, so we try and start every generation pretty fresh. But for Dove, who has grown up with like literally what, 5 siblings, this is gotta be blissful. So we are gonna put her straight in the athlete career because that is what's required. Oh, bummer. We're not gonna have work till like next week, which is a little bit frustrating because we are low on money, but for now we can appreciate this gorgeous view out of our bedroom and the fact there's no one else here. It's quite a barren space at the moment. I'm sure Dove will slob it up in no time and make plenty of mess, but for now I'm just going to pop out like her personal effects. We've got some bits and bobs from previous generations, so some Selva Dorada artifacts from Edie, a geode from 6 and from Mac. She's also got all the way back to Floor's science kit in her inventory, although I don't think I'm going to put that out. And as we've got a whole free weekend, I guess we will take some time to explore our new neighbourhood, and also maybe to meet some of the new Sims that are going to be a part of Dove's story. So as ever, I tend to call out for people to make Sims for me, and we've got some new characters who are going to be introduced. So I'm pretty excited to go meet some of those. We also need to, for our bodybuilder aspiration, work out at a gym venue, and there is actually a gym venue in this part of Windenberg, which is another reason I chose it. So I think once we've finished taking care of our needs, we are going to jump over to Harbour Quarter Gym, and we might take Mac with us just to touch in. He'd want to definitely like check his little girl's okay, so we could get in a workout together. That could be a fun little father-daughter activity. And yeah, that seems like a good way to kick off our Saturday. Let's do an energized workout. I will also try and get some of the big summer blowout activities done. I'm hoping if Dove goes for a swim, that will count. Oh, Matt doesn't want to work out with us. That was quick. Okay, so we have now completed that first milestone, which honestly is impressive. And next up, we need to push the limits for an hour while energized and own 2 pieces of workout equipment, which could be challenging given our financial situation. But hey, good progress against the Grey Gen goals, which actually we should probably go recap. For Grey Gen, we always felt we were different. The rest of our family was busy messing around in the lab or with the archaeology kit. You just wanted to be outside playing basketball. Swimming is what we did instead of basketball. You're very good at sports and dream of becoming a professional athlete. To make up for your slightly distant relationship with parents, because it wasn't non-existent, you want to be there for your own children as much as possible. Oh, and you love to sing. So we've got all the right traits: active, slob, music lover. We've got the bodybuilder aspiration. We've joined the athlete career. So the other rules we need to pay attention to is we need to master singing. We have started. Parenting, I hadn't realised we had to master that too. And the athletic skills. We're 9 out of 10 on athletics, so I'm not worried about that at all. We need to master the athlete career. That's going to be a slog. And complete the bodybuilder aspiration, which we're progressing. Now, the tricky ones, I think, are going to be having 3 failed relationships before finding a spouse and marrying a neat sim. Fig is 1. We've got to find 2 more and a neat sim. And then we've got to be good friends with all of our children, which sounds like we have to have more than one, and have a family movie night with our spouse and children every Sunday. So what I'm getting here is we need to start having kids, but also we need to try and meet some people we can fail in relationships with. Our entire family is at this gym, which is honestly so like them. I remember when Mac first moved out, his whole family always used to turn up at his house. But yeah, we've got Edie on the climbing wall. Glyph is here too. I spotted Petra earlier on the workout machine. But we can't date or have children with our family. I mean, obviously this is not an incest let's play, so I don't know why I went that way. We are setting up a new group called Go Team, and on Go Team I am going to add all the young adult and adult members of the athlete career so that we can start to hang out with our little workmates. Both because I want Dove to have friends, but also because what says doomed relationship more than messing around with someone you work with? And if you're noticing there is a purple haired person in that group of people, that is not a coincidence. I have asked a few simmers to make me sims that I could drop into Dove's world with purple genetics to basically expand the pool of people that Dove could date. Oh, Fig, you should not be here. Let's make you go away. The reality is I love spontaneity in my game, but it's not really practical to date townies for 2 reasons. Firstly, we're in Gen 4 and they don't have chins anymore, and secondly because I just find it really hard to like find people that are like single, available, appropriate to my sim. And honestly, I'd much rather spend my time on storytelling and having fun in my game than trawling around bars and stuff trying to find people that aren't elders and are possible spouses or genetic donors for my sims. So yeah, there are some obvious plants, and we're now going to go and meet some of them with our first club gathering of Go Team at the pool in Windenberg, which is going to be like our home base. So the other colleagues, it looks like it's one of the guys from Werewolves, Lou Howell, lol. And on the left in purple we have Fialova Prunella, who we're going to call Fia, who was made for me by the lovely Morgan, who also actually made Marigold for me in Gen 2, but because Marigold was like Carmine's end love, she didn't contribute to like the main genetic lines. Morgan hasn't had any genes in the game basically, so this is her second throw of the dice. We've done our intro, so they're now going to go do some swimming, as that is what is required in this beautiful massive pool that reminds me of like an Olympic pool, or at least a huge like Lido, which feels like the right place to have Dove set up for her, that was terrifying, T-poses, for her swimming stroke coaching career or whatever it is. And it does also look like that swim has counted as water fun for Big Summer Blowout. And now we have also checked off grilling. We're going to grill some koftas, I guess. And this way also, if we start a fire, because we do currently have the fear of fires, we won't burn down our house. But it turns out we didn't, and we're now just having some snacks with our little work colleagues. There is a third one who just hasn't turned up for whatever reason, but hopefully we will meet her. And hopefully the little red minuses between Dove and Fia aren't a sign of what is to come. I really do not want a repeat of Fig. I was hoping this would all go nice and smoothly. Although we're definitely not going to be jumping straight into another romantic relationship. I want Dove to sort of like try and find her feet in Windenberg and enjoy things a little bit and define herself a little bit better before we jump into any other relationships. It's also potentially worth just saying I'm not necessarily going to have her have like a series of official boyfriend girlfriends and break up with them, because that feels more like the serial romantic aspiration, which we've already done. So failed relationships might just be ones that either like fail to launch, or where we're into them and they don't like us back or whatever. So there will be officially the relationships that we need, but it won't necessarily look like a bunch of broken hearts. But for now, I'm actually gonna end this gathering. We have made some progress with Fia. We've also made some friendship with Lou. That's great English from me. And we are quite desperate for a wee. So we are able to just jog home, ignoring a call from our ex, knowing fully that as we run through our new ends with our swimming costume on and our abs out, we are looking, frankly, absolutely fire. We are having a little bath because she's feeling pretty tense, and then we are going to vomit, apparently. Oh no, why could Dove be vomiting? I wonder. Oh, and she's popped. Well, I guess my secret's out. So, if you may notice this moodlet here, Dove is a progenine. We are pregnante. So I'm just going to quickly set her to do some singing practice while I explain myself. Because yeah, I may have planned this. From a story perspective, this is obviously unplanned. And what happened is when I was looking at the Grey Gen rules, the fact they have to max parenting, the relationship they're meant to have with the Plum Gen, the relationship they've previously had with their parents, and I was trying to work out like what would drive Dove to be so independent, to be sort of like so out there on her own, following her own path. I'm just buying her some workout equipment while we chat. And how would I basically make it compelling and realistic for her to focus on being a parent and being a really good parent whilst also in a career that doesn't really match up well with being pregnant, and have a bunch of failed relationships and do all the things I needed to do. And basically what I came up with was that what if right at the end of her teenage years, because I don't have teen pregnancy enabled, so I cheated to get her pregnant like the second she aged up, she gets pregnant with someone that she knows is like super unsuitable and she doesn't want to be involved in the kid's life, but then she still wants to sort of raise the kid on her own terms. She doesn't want to just like move back into a really chaotic family. And milestone complete. Honestly, we're acing this. And I think that is important to Dove, being seen to be good at things, including being a mum. So she's sort of really wants to make it work on her own, even if it's kind of crazy, even if it means that she maybe can't commit to the relationship she's in because she's like so focused on being a mum first and foremost. Basically what I ended up on was that it made a lot of sense to me that she would do the single parent thing and sort of try and date around the edges and pursue her goals, but like putting her kid first. And in order to do that, she needed to get pregnant pretty much straight away. So her intense teenage relationship has resulted in a pregnancy, but for the time being, Dove is kind of pretending that she doesn't know. She is in denial. We are going to get her some baggy clothes so she can hide it whilst going about her life, which also gives me an excuse to give her a little bit of a makeover because she has been rocking the same look since she was a teenager. I don't want to change it up that much. She is still a slob. She's still into her like comfy vibes, but I just want to give her maybe a little bit more of a grown look and also something which can slightly disguise that first trimester bump. So we have grown out her hair a little bit. We are going to take some of the sort of more midriff revealing tops out, partly because I personally get a little bit creeped out by how the six-pack sits on top of the pregnancy bump, and I know that does happen in real life, but I also get a bit weirded out by it in real life. It's like there's a baby and there's a six-pack. Wow, crazy. We're gonna put her in some more practical, I'm pretending I'm not pregnant because I don't really want to be pregnant right now, and I also don't want to talk to people about the fact I'm pregnant right now kind of vibes. And that's really the approach I think Dove would take in general. Like for now, she doesn't have a baby. For now, she's pregnant, but it's not going to affect her for a couple days yet. So we're going to get on with stuff. And I'm just quickly checking how much our bill's going to be. Only 676, that's not too bad. So we can actually afford to buy some stuff, because bringing a kid into this completely empty apartment, honestly, kind of depressing. So we're just gonna make it a little bit more homey with bedside tables and a sofa. I mean, it's not much, but it's a bit better. And then we're gonna continue on with our life as though nothing has changed. We're gonna do a little bit of meditating to get ourselves in a good brain space, and then we are going to go off to a different area of Windenberg to explore it some and also do some jogging. Maybe we'll also pick up some collectibles. Oh, there's a wishing well here? Is this always here? Did I put this here? I don't remember putting this here. I'm not loving the noise that made. We wished for a promotion at work because that honestly would be super helpful, especially as we're about to pop out a kid. But they've threatened to demote us. That really isn't what I was hoping for, but hey, you know, it's just going to add to the grind. And what the hell is going on? That looks like some shader problems. Okay, we're going to pretend that didn't happen. And it also won't let us jog, so instead we're just wandering around collecting frogs and yeah, trying to do anything that's going to help us out a little bit for money. And in this little cottage at the end of the road, the neighbour has come out to greet us. And who is this little purple cutie? This is Amethyst, who is another sim that was made for me by Jess from the Berry Gameplay Discord server. And Amethyst is just another sim, a clumsy sim we've just learned, who we're going to throw into Dove's path and see what comes of it. I love her face, she is super cute, and yeah, we're just going to let these gals have a chat, see what comes up. We're talking about gardening, which is, as far as I'm aware, not something Dove is remotely interested in, but she's feeling playful, she's feeling good. Maybe she is just trying to find some way to connect with Amethyst. I don't know. Earlier on we got the flea market notification, and I actually did want to send Dove along, partly to get her back in the city where we haven't been for a little while, but also in case we can pick up any bargain furniture to put in our very, very empty house. So I just had to take Amethyst with her. I feel like Dove would probably say, hey, I don't really know anyone around here yet. I've got this thing I want to do. Do you want to come along and get to know each other a bit more? And Amethyst is game. We have got a little heart overhead, so I don't know if that is like a flirty vibe or what, although we are again having some little negatives going on. I really do think they must have updated the game a little bit to stop the sort of positive interactions being so overpowered, because it is much harder to make friends than it used to be. You used to be able to sort of like chat to someone 3 times and then you could immediately get married, but no more. And also all of this furniture is really ugly and not the modernist vibe that I'm kind of going for with Dove. So instead I've just sent them to play some basketball, which should help with our fitness skill and also hopefully enable them to spend some time together doing something that Dove really loves. So yeah, this is I guess a fun way to play pickup in the city. Although I'm not sure why Amethyst has changed into, I don't know if that's her pajamas, but she's not wearing shoes and it's snowing, so I'm a little bit worried that she's gonna freeze to death. Girl, can we maybe change you back into some cold weather clothes? That would make me more confident. It would be a real bummer if you died immediately after we met you. Especially given that their friendship bar's gone up quite quickly. I would say, based off the initial vibe, Dove and Amethyst are getting on a little bit better than Dove and Fia, which doesn't mean anything. At the moment it's all just friendly. Let me know in the comments which one you see Dove with more. If either of them, there may be others. As I said, there's quite a lot of dating to do in this generation, so we've got to pay attention to these things to try and make it as easy on ourselves as possible. So if we see so much as a spark with either of them, we will be making that move. Now, can we just quickly see if there's any collectibles for us to get? And then, as we're in the city and Dove loves to sing, I am cracking on and getting them to do a little bit of karaoke. Could we do a pop duet maybe? See if any sparks fly over the karaoke machine? Apparently the answer is no. Amethyst does not want to sing with us, so Dove is just serenading her and this random bald guy in an outfit from the Vampires pack, I think. So that's fun. But we will persist. We are coming into ourselves. We are enjoying our singing. I am thinking about replacing the required family movie in Grey Generals with maybe a family karaoke night, because that just seems to make more sense. But yeah, let me know what you think. And as this evening begins to wrap up, I feel like this is a good place to end this episode. We have had a lot of changes, a few surprises, and we are ready to go to our first day at work, probably in our second trimester, whoopsie. But hey, it is a new start. It's an exciting moment. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I've really enjoyed making it. Like, comment, subscribe if you're feeling it. If not, no worries, and I'll see you in the next video. Love you, bye.